Good morning, traders. Hope you're having a blessed day so far. Of course, it's early morning for some of us. Not seeing much moving this morning. It is Thursday. Usually Thursday's a pretty good day. So yesterday during pre-market, we had a stock pop up, VVOS. And I want to apologize because I said something that wasn't right. And we first found the stock about $7 on a pullback. And if you recall, it was very low in volume and nobody wanted to buy it. Well, during that conversation, I said that it was probably because I wasn't going to buy it. It was going to go up to $35. Well, unfortunately, I was wrong because it went up to $48. And I want to apologize for that. But that just goes to show you how things can go. You know, you talk about something like that, and I don't know anymore. I did not. I didn't actually know. It was a late rally. I guess it rallied all day. About 10:30, I gave it up. So I missed it all totally. I guess that's why you go with your gut feeling, right? But I mean, I would have had to totally go against everything that I'm trying to teach you. Don't buy low volume. It doesn't look good. And look what happens. That goes to show you the stock market can do anything. I don't care how much of a professional trader or how long you've been trading. The stock market has a mind of its own. But it happens. I mean, let's have it happen with a good stock where we all are in it. And it happens in pre-market and doesn't halt. That's the one I'm waiting on. We've had some before. The mango, there's always one coming. You just don't know when. And you don't know how it's going to start. Some of them start strong. Some of them start weak, like the one yesterday. I would have never thought that stock was going to do that. Especially the way it was just creeping in pre-market. Yeah, some of you weren't here one morning when we were looking at a stock that was $3.75. and it started rising. And a couple of people bought it, and it started rising, and it was up to like $4.50. Then it started pausing about $5, and I bought it. And then it went up to $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, and people were in such shock they didn't push the buy button. And even I got out early. I made a nice profit, but I got out way too early. So yes, it does happen. So it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. Do you chase the green candle? Do you wait on the pullback? Some of you probably already bought it, I know. You ain't waiting on no stinking pullback. Floating around, will it get a pullback? Will it not? There it comes. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just going to keep running like yesterday. I see a pullback coming. So if you're going to try it, this would be the position you're going to try it down in here. Need this candle to close. Looks like they're going to run it on up just like yesterday. There it goes. Who loves lunatic? I think it's because people are so desperate for something to go up, they're going to pump it up no matter what kind of news. It's a bad market. Only a few pre-market stocks every day. You could pretty much see the momentum building when it was trying to pull back. It had a lower tail, a lower wick. And then it popped. Now we got some tall candle wicks on the top. You know what that means? It means the sellers are coming in and they're driving the price back down. Maybe we'll get a pullback up here, one that sticks. I'll go ahead and set resistance on it. Maybe it'll pull back down to that $1.78. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll pop again. I'm going to say we're going to float around right here for a little while. It's struggling now. Curious minds want to know who bought the green candles. Who bought the little red pullback we were having right here? I want to know how many of you were brave. Are you still in, Alfredo? Well, you're braver than me. One day you'll get stung like I did for $1,500 and you'll quit doing that. Or maybe you're better at it than I am. That's a possibility. I'm not good at everything. So if we get a second wave, it's going to be in this box here somewhere before the next run up. That was pretty good. First pick popped up right about 7. Well, my clock is wrong. It is. What's going on here? I've got 2 different times going on. My ThinkorSwim is showing 7:07, but my computer clock is showing 6:07. What are they doing to me over here? Am I trading in the future or what? Yeah, but it should show my current time in ThinkorSwim, not East Coast time. Well, it's already ran once before our market opened. So be careful on this one. Oh, I love the East Coast. I'm not hating on it. I'm just wondering why my time is wrong. Let's see what happens here. I don't think we're going to get a pullback out of it. We could. Let's get this candle to close. We had a prior run up back here. That's why I'm kind of doubting this one, because we had a great sell-off afterwards. So probably not going to do much. Yeah, it's going to sell off. Chad, I know that alarm clock very well. I was in that for a while. Horses, the ducks, the chickens, the pigs, the cows, the hay. So we're holding strong at around 212. This is back to MINM. Well, I definitely wouldn't call that a pullback. How do you sell off that far and recover? That's like a 50-something cent recovery. Little trickery going on there, right? Now 60 cents. From 318 to 411. There's $1 bounce in a $3 stock. How can that happen? I guess I should have kept it on it. Yeah, it's crazy. Is this another VVOS? Long tail on the bottom. That means the buyers are buying up what they're selling. We are at resistance. Do we run up again? Looks good down here on the dominator lines. So now that you know this stock could pull all the way back to $3.10, do you trust this red candle? I don't think I could. I mean, if they can dump at 60 cents and raise it $1, there's some manipulation going on there for a $3 stock. Don't think I would chance it just because I know it can pull down to here. And with my luck, it wouldn't go back up for 3 years. Starting to look like it found some footing now around 379. Still low volume. Now we're bullish again. Still very low volume, only 12,000 on that last candle. I think it's one to stay away from. Guess I was watching the other one too hard. We did have a pullback here and another run up. Was not a clean pullback though. Yeah, we probably did. They do come back in time. So in your personal watch list this morning, you should already have MINM in it to watch it for later today. Good morning, Frank and Peter. So I just changed my sensitivity on my pre-market riser scan. Let me show you what to do real quick to do that. You hit your scan tab. Well, let me get it back up there where it belongs. You hit your scan tab and go over here to these three bars and look for your pre-market riser scan. It's going to be in your personal. If I can find mine. Pre-market right here. And I guess it didn't stick, so I'm going to run this percentage down to 1%. Hit scan. And come up here to these three bars and hit save. And then you saw mine refresh up there, but that's all you do to make it a little bit more sensitive. If you don't like 1%, go back in there and put it on 2%. So scan tab, three bars, personal, find the pre-market, change this to 2% or 1%. And of course, I'm sorted by momentum. So if you get too many trash stocks at 1%, go back in there and put it back on 2. I'm just trying something since we're not having very many stock picks come up. Frank, in pre-market, I like to leave it kind of low, mainly because a lot of pre-market stocks don't have any volume until some news comes out. So down there at the 10,000 share range, gives you that notice maybe you could get in before it reaches 50,000 in volume. Just helps you get in a little sooner. But I agree, it does clean up some of the mess. Good morning, Lance. Actually, good morning to everybody. I don't even know if I did that. To everybody on YouTube and to Discord, thank you for joining us this morning. We already had one runner, MINM. It was a tough one. If you didn't catch it at the right time, you didn't get any. But it was a nice move. And we had AMPE, didn't know what to do with it. It went up to here and dropped all of it, then went up $1. How can you trust anything like that? It would have been a very difficult play. CMND gave us a little dip here. It's continuing to rise. CMND going to the moon. Definitely won't chase this one. It needs a pullback. Still going. So had I not reduced that volume down to 1%, or that actually percent change, I believe it was, probably wouldn't have picked up on this because the volume was extremely low when it first came up. Actually, I'm looking now and I don't see it up here, so that change I made did absolutely nothing. But this one's still going to the moon. It's jumping dollars now. Could this be the next rocket we have here? Yes, it did come up in all stocks. I guess the whole point is we know about it. It came up in one of the scans, and that's a good thing. That was almost $1 drop right there. Now it's getting kind of scary. So if you chase that green candle, you're now in the hole. Yeah, when it's like this, it's probably hitting all the scans about now. Buddy, I would imagine you could use it for any type of trading, but you're going to have to figure out the micro pullbacks. So we do have a pullback there. And it would be the first pullback. And the dominator lines are pointing north. So if the buyers come back in, if this stock is strong, they'll come up from here. This would be an entry down here. Kind of late on it already. So between these two lines is at least 50 cents. So if you were able to catch it down low here, you could have got about 40 cents out of it. Good morning, Scott. So now we're back down at support. So from 738 to 803, that's about 60 cents. I'm just rounding off here. That's providing it bounces from this line to this one again. It could channel sideways doing this bounce. I'm watching the dominator rolling over at the top. It may be kind of a warning. Green is below red. Good job, Mr. Rodriguez. Thank you, Malik. I guess the older platform, I'm still on the original ThinkorSwim platform. I guess they don't have a support department anymore. They're not responding to my time clock issue. Guess I have to call Schwab later. See you later, Mr. Rodriguez. All right, while it's slow, if you're new here, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I've been trading since 1990. I'm also a ThinkScript coder, and I write my own scripts. This was the first one I wrote. It's a volume spike indicator. It's watching for volume spikes in the market. It lets us know if the stock starts moving and if it's bullish or bearish. This has been a very powerful indicator, and it was the reason these other indicators are up here. I took this code and modified it, and now it's looking 30 minutes back to find any stock that's moving within the last 30 minutes. If it's moving just a little, it gets a small score. If it's moving a lot, it gets a high score. And it lets us know immediately when something's moving because it's monitoring the last 30 minutes. This is a new indicator. I'll explain it later on. But over here on the chart, I created a pullback strategy. The chart itself is not actually a pullback, but we mark pullbacks off of it. It makes it easier for us to determine where they are. We get to watch the moving averages. This is the 5 and the 13 EMA. We watch for a crossover, and when this spike over here occurs, we get these arrows popping in to let us know the buyers are coming in. On this current candle here, we're monitoring it right here with this label that says bullish or bearish. It's letting us know if there's more sellers or more buyers within the first current candle of the stock. Right now it's bearish. We always monitor this current volume bar. This is actually our volume here and here, and I'll explain this one in a minute. We watch the current candle bar to make sure there's enough volume in the stock to get in and get out safely because we want to scalp it for profits. Over here, we were watching the overall volume of this stock, the entire volume. Is it bullish? Is there more sellers or more buyers in the overall volume? Well, we got to the point where we couldn't keep this in our mind overall. We needed a bigger picture, so I made it visually down here. Now we're seeing the buyers and the sellers in the dominator. This is not a moving average. This is actual volume in the stock. Is there more buyers or is there more sellers? And currently, there's more sellers in this stock, and it's pulling back. The angle of this line is definitely not the angle of the price. This is low volume down here. Up here is higher volume. So as the stock lines are angling, the volume is increasing. If these lines start coming down, the volume is decreasing. So this is a very trustworthy indicator. You just have to really pay attention to what it's doing. So both lines can be going up. This is the sellers chasing the buyers, and then the sellers take over at this point, and it starts coming back down. So the lines can rise, but the price can go down. Never trade off of my screen. Sometimes I'm delayed, and sometimes I'm delayed more than you can afford. So don't trade off of my screen. Get set up on your own computer and always trade off of your own system, because if you don't, you could lose money if you're watching mine to make your decisions. And as a warning, I'm going to mark out support and resistance zones, and I'm going to tell you this was where your entry would be, but that's still totally up to you. Don't rely on me to give you entry and exit positions. I'm going to call them out on the chart, but it's your decision if you want to buy it or not. To get these files, they're over on our Discord, but I prefer you first go to YouTube and sign up for YouTube. That's where I get paid for giving this stuff away. And I kind of calculated it yesterday, and the total profit is $14. That's what I get per day to do all of this. So your help on watching the YouTube, subscribing to YouTube is needed. This is a link to our YouTube channel. Watch the YouTube videos, like the YouTube videos, comment on the YouTube videos. Let YouTube know how good of a job I'm doing over here. It also lets me know how good of a job I'm doing. To get these files here, they're over on our Discord. That's where we keep everything. You can meet other people on Discord. You can find the files. You can find some videos on how to get set up. This is a link to our Discord. Once you sign up, head on over to Start Here. There'll be a list of things to do there for you, and it'll help you get set up. You'll find these files in current setup. Everything that I just updated is going to be in current setup, and that's the ones we use for trading. Everything else is kind of older through the years, things I have developed along my way. They're still good, but I consider these to be the best. So visit our support channel if you have trouble installing any of these scripts. We also have the how-to videos. Please watch them first. Then if you have trouble, post it over in support, and I'll try to help you, or somebody will try to help you. Also visit our trading floor with Gregster and River Place Dad, doing their due diligence on stocks and posting stock picks throughout the day. I even join them for a few myself. Over in Options Trader, you'll find a bunch of people trading options, and it's me, Bob. He's the king of options over there. He's a good one to listen to. He often holds a live stream when he has enough participants to take you a little bit deeper into options. And he's very good at it. Just ask around, they'll let you know. Thank you for joining us this morning. And I hope we get blessed today with another stock pick. Kind of running out of time for pre-market. We're coming up on that 8 o'clock hour. And at 8 o'clock, if you didn't know, if it's your first time here, I take a break for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then when I return, about 8:25, we set up for market open. For now, we're just waiting on the next one to pop up. Enjoy your coffee, lunch, dinner, bed, whatever you're doing. I don't know where you're at until we get another one. Thank you for participating this morning. Yeah, it made another run up while I was rattling my mouth, right? Yeah, I done went off of that wrong clock, didn't I, back road? They need to fix that. I'm going to be all messed up over here. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button on this stream and you like what you see, that helps me out on YouTube. Go ahead and click that like button. Also want to thank our Patreon subscribers for their donations to help me keep this rolling. It is not a free service like you may think it is. Discord's free, but for every little thing you got to do to it costs money. It even costs money as the subscription base rises. We're currently in need of adding more viewers to our streaming service over on Discord. Waiting on donations to pick up so I don't have to pull it out of my pocket and get any deeper into this. We're growing slowly. I'm happy with the growth. Just have to be patient and wait. So thanks to the Patreon subscribers. Your donations are really helping us. Thank you, Dana. Always helpful. Thank you. That's right, Dana. They always run. I bet you wait I take my break as well. Because I know they run then too. Let me see if I can pull that off of there. I think I can. This is the link to the Patreon. And yes, it is one of those shorter link things because the link Patreon gave me was like 3 miles long. So I shortened it up. It's not a spam link. It's the actual Patreon. It's self-explanatory, Robert. And MINM is still trying to go higher. It's pushing here. It may not get anywhere, but it's pushing. That means there's still buyer interest in this stock. Malik, in the chat or in Patreon? There's two different ones. I posted the Patreon above you there. And the other one is you click that square $sign below where you type in the chat, and then you click on Super Chat. Very possible warlock, but you know, every time we make predictions, it goes the other way. Thank you, Malik. Very much appreciated. So we've had, what, 2 stocks that were actually pretty decent but hard to get into? I believe that's what we had this morning, was two fairly good ones, but you would have had to buy green candles, I believe, or get in when I was talking. That's 2 entry points right there. Thank you, JC. Thank you, Domingo. Thank you, RD. Man, you guys are blessing me this morning. Thank you so much. It's really not for me, though. I'm just putting it right back into the system. We got to get this thing rolling strong. So just to tell you how it is, it's almost $500 for me to add 300 people to the streaming service on Discord. And that's not a one-time 500. That's 500 every year. I'm also paying like $250 a year just to have the image on Discord. I paid quite a bit of money in programming. I'm thinking I'm up over $2,000. And I still got hackers. I don't know how I'm going to cure that one. But there's always a cost there. So Discord being free? No, it's not free. It's free to start. I probably still have it on my mouse, Dana. Let me see here. I do. That's the Patreon link. Just remember, guys, I really do appreciate the help. It was getting to the point to where I didn't know if I wanted to keep going or not. I know in my heart I want to keep going, but I didn't know it was going to cost me so much money to do so. I actually had members say, why don't I get a Discord? And I kept putting it off and I kept putting it off. And then I got one, and here comes all of the love, all the members. If you help me grow this thing together, though, the more members we have, the more people trading the same stock, the more profit you're going to get. Just like the Bible says, we all get together, we can move mountains. Think of it that way. Thank you, Trading Pennies. Good morning, Jimmy, Tim, and Night Shark. I guess the best part about it is right here you have a way to earn it all back just like I do. It's not like it's gone forever. You give me something to do and I give you something to do and we're all happy. It's a win-win. SMFL, where did you get that from? It's not on my list. Must be down in the price range. No, but it's moving. This is why it's important to post them, because sometimes you get them when I don't. Thank you very much, Geechee Dan. Thank you, Island Man. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, I don't see it down here in mine. Yeah, I do. I'm just being blind. I guess my one eye is not working so good this morning. But when I typed it in, when I type it in up here, I should get a blue line if it's in my list, and I'm not getting that this morning either. So, oh, buggy ThinkorSwim, wrong clock. Hey, I can literally say I'm keeping an eye out on you, and it's a true statement. Thank you, Neil, very much. That's correct, Kenny. SMFL, because Geechee Dan posted it, you should be making money if you chase green candles like you did this morning. We are now getting a pullback on SMFL. I'd like to see this candle close about 50% of that green one and then pull right back up. Somewhere in there, that's what I like to see. Now it needs to close and pull up. That's a nice pullback right there. Up. We may be selling off. Be careful, don't enter here. All right. Need a bottom wick on this candle. Your call. I don't like the size of that candle. It's almost engulfed the whole candle. We may get the bounce, though, from 313 to 382. That's quite a range. Don't know about this one. We do get a spike arrow. Yeah, this is why I'm saying be cautious. That's a big pullback. Half of that candle I can deal with, like right in here, but when you get that much of a pullback, don't ever jump in immediately. Thank you, Scott. You have a term for it, and I watch volume and price action. Y'all watch news, and I watch volume and price action. Well, we can't say we didn't get any stock picks this morning. This is the third or fourth one. I'm believing the fourth. You got it, Scott. Maybe we're heading for the rally before Christmas. The problem with those rallies is you have to chase green candles to get in on them, just like this one. We may be getting a couple of pump stocks too this morning. Thank you, Double Dare. Glad I could help you. I'm actually glad I could help anybody that's been helped. So everybody is kind of like reinventing the wheel over all of these trading years, and they all had their view of what was the best indicator, and I think they kind of got away from the original structure of it's about buyers and sellers, and they kind of went off on the indicators that were drawing roadmaps of the past, hoping everything would repeat what it did in the past. And that's where we came off of sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I did trade the stochastics for a long time, and I did trade moving averages, but I also strayed away from the original plan of buyers and sellers. And I really think that's where everybody should be focusing, is on the numbers, not on a roadmap of the past. Because it is about numbers. It's about more buyers or more sellers, and it's about how many of those buyers and sellers are involved. And if you focus on it that way, you can time these things a lot easier. I'm not saying the other indicators are wrong. I'm just saying that so many people's reinvented the wheel. I mean, Hull moving averages, Bollinger Bands, squeezes. I mean, it's just really gone nuts over the years. So MINM, it's been strong all morning. If you notice, there's not a great pullback anywhere in this stock. It did float along this price level here, and now it's rising again. Is it going to be one of those continuation stocks? It very well could be. Another one where we look back at the end of the day and it's at $20, $30. Nice slow movement, lower volume. It's not real strong at this point because you can see down here we're laying low with low volume. Buyers and sellers pretty much equal. I am noticing you got to give this dominator some room to move. If you squish it down in here, you can't really tell what's going on. But if you open it up, you can really tell a better picture of it. Problem is, on this setup for live streaming, I don't have much room to play with. Unless I totally get rid of earnings. I guess we could live with that. Thank you, Night Shark, for your contribution. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to talk, just send me a direct message or set up an appointment with me. Contact me through DM, through Discord. I have an open mind. I take a look at things. Don't know if I will ever head over to auto trading. I don't know if I could. It's so new, don't know if I could trust my money with it. Thank you, Skywalker. Every little bit helps. We're going to have massive growth. And just to tell you how it's going, we got 1,000 people in the last 30 to maybe 35 or 40 days. 1,000 people. Yesterday, I think we got 35. So 35 a day. That's about 1,000 a month. And the bigger we get, that's the more people telling more people, so the growth starts picking up speed. And the better I am at performing my job, that also helps pick up speed. But I think we pretty much got it now. If I can just get that scan, I think I have got that scan completed. But each day, the performance seems to vary a little. And I'm beginning to believe that's just the market, that I'll never get that out. But I want to get close. Night Shark, I'm using Windows, but I do have Linux systems as well. I'm running servers. I've got backups, all kind of stuff running over here. I already have the capability of changing screens automatically. I just don't see any sense in it if I'm talking about this screen and it automatically changes from another to another screen, then it kind of interrupts what I'm talking about. Really don't think you need to see multiple screens. I think you just need to see it's working. If I put too much up there, you'll never focus on your system. If you remember at the start, we've had quite a few people say, why don't you show your clicking and your trading? And that's because I don't want you click following me. I want you to learn. Goes back to the give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. That statement is so true. My thought is, yeah, I'll trade in front of you, but what if I'm wrong? What if you saw me buy 3,000 shares and I lost $3,000? Are you going to follow me now? Because I'm not perfect. I can mess up as well. So I choose not to do it. But I do make it easy. I do come here and I say, this will be your entry. This is what you need to look for. Just not on that stock, but on all stocks when you're doing this yourself. Mark out the support and resistance like I show you. Play the bounces on these stocks. And you won't need me to do anything for you. Thank you, who loves lunatic. Sometimes it's tough love, but the tough love makes you better. Yeah, we're supposed to have some really bad weather here starting around 10 a.m. I'm hoping I can get through this live stream first. We're having that very rare situation where a low runs into a high and we're caught in the middle of it. I just hope it doesn't get stabilized here and just sits here for 2 or 3 days. That's when you run into problems. Looks like I might want to buy some of this. If it's just going to keep going, I don't mind it pulling back a couple $100 as long as it goes up 3 or 4. If we get a pullback on it, I may try to get a little. Because I've been doubting it the whole time, and it has not sold off anywhere. It's consolidated, but it has not sold off. You don't see any drop in price anywhere. Yeah, if you're going to try it, it would be during the consolidation period. While we watch it go to $12 before it gets there. I mean, even if you bought 100 shares, who knows, at the end of the day, you might have $500 at 100 shares. It may be one of them $30, $40 stock deals. $600 investment, 100 shares. Might be advisable to get in after the market opens when it sells off. But it is only 720. We could be going into consolidation here. So if you're going to do it, just go in slow, like a quarter of what you're thinking about. If it continues to consolidate, you can always add little by little. Well, I tried to pick up 200 shares. It wouldn't fill my order. Domingo, we really don't know. The news wasn't great, but it's got solid buying pressure. It hasn't sold off. It's consolidated on each level, held its price. Too bad it didn't give me my entry when I tried. I tried to limp in with 200 shares right about here, and it would not fill my order. I did have it checked. It just didn't let me have it. I bet it'll give me 1,000 shares and go down. Anybody want to bet me 1,000 so I don't lose my money? Some big orders, they like to go back and kill. Still no big sell-off. Gonna grab 100 here. Hey, it let me have 100. Now it's probably going down. We'll see. AGRI on the move. Had to get out of it. I knew if I chased that green candle, I was going to get shafted. I gave it $100. Probably should have just left it alone. Late in the run. Nice pullback here if it holds. We are getting late in the morning. Keep that in mind. It is 7:30. I only went in small too. But deep down inside, it was saying, it's late. Why are you doing that? Just like this one, I missed it too. That's fine. These cheaper stocks, they're hard to play. Man, when I get up into the big stocks, it's so much easier. I mean, I start talking to you guys, and next thing I know, you're posting a pic. I'm already too late. And get up in the $5 to $50 range, it's a lot smoother. But everybody fighting for this 25, 50 cents, dollar in the morning pre-market, it's tough. If I'm not really focused, I miss them every time. I know it can be done. I do it all the time, but I miss them. I don't think it was FOMO. I think what it was, I was seeing a stock that was pretty strong. It was consolidating, holding its levels. I just waited too long to try. I guess you could call that fear of missing out. But I didn't have that fear. I just thought maybe it was strong enough to keep running. See you later, Warlock. Thank you for joining us. God bless. Brocho did the same thing to me, but it probably ain't going far. I could have got out with a profit there, though. But probably only what it got me for. Probably would have been plus 100 instead of minus 100. I didn't think it would go very far. Top of the run, pretty much over. INBS making a run here, cheaper stock. I'll stay clear of that one. AGRI may make a bounce here. Another no-fill order. They just don't like me today. Good job, Trader 22. I'm also noticing when I go in and modify my scans to 1 minute, it's not saving the time, even though I save it. So the clock's wrong, can't save the right time frame on the scans. I've tried clearing it out, it didn't help. Still now I'm showing 8:37 on the time, but in reality it's 7:37 here. I was looking around for a way to adjust the clock, and the only options it gives you see where I found it first. I don't know where I found it now. I did see a clock setting somewhere. Auto timeout clock. 24 hours. That's the only thing I can find. Never even had to mess with the time. I don't know. Can't figure it out. Yeah, this is my computer time, but the clock that's wrong is my ThinkorSwim. It's showing an hour ahead. It's showing East Coast time, and this is my real time. I mean, it says time zone -6 hours, Chicago Central Time. It does say that in my settings. Just that the clock is wrong. So you can see my time here, 8:41:17. General tab, Central Time. Actual time 7:41, 8:41. It's on localized time already. So maybe I should call Schwab and get my $100 back. Tell them, hey, that wasn't me. That was an hour ago, and that ain't even my time. Mike, I don't want to have to rig it. I want it to be right. So set time zone automatically is checked. I don't know. I'll deal with it later. Well, we had a few good runs this morning. Not so bad of a Thursday. Hopefully, tomorrow's Friday. We know what Fridays do. Friday can go either direction, mostly down, especially toward the end of the day. Not even the end of the day, probably around 10 a.m., people start taking profits. So we need to do something early in pre-market if it's going to happen. I have $100 to make up. I should be able to do that easy. AGRI. Good morning, Harleys. AGRI making a nice move here. Probably won't hold though. That 8 o'clock's coming up. MINM holding this price level again. SMFL getting ready to pull up here. Of course it is. I'm having nothing but issues with ThinkorSwim. The times are wrong. It's not giving me purchase orders. All right, guys, I'm going to do the reboot thing while we're here at 8 o'clock. You hang on, I'll be back. I'm getting there. Give me a few minutes. Hey, we won't have a clock here for a little bit. I'm seeing, because I think my trouble may have started with this clock. So I took it off. I uninstalled it. Let's see what happens. I can always bring it back later. All right, I'm going to take my 10-minute break here. I shall return shortly. Thank you. All right, I am back. So let's see, it is 8:12. About 10 more minutes, I'll change over to the other scans. I still have the hour time difference in ThinkorSwim. What's weird is if I change it to East Coast and back to local time, it does not change the clock. Try it within settings. Let's go to London or Berlin or whatever. Try changing back and forth. No change whatsoever if I change it in settings. I've tried that, German. It just says Eastern or localized. I'm on localized. The other option is create alarm. Good job, Dana. I'm telling you, every time I take a break, y'all need to buy. Here's a good example. Here's 8 o'clock, where I took my break, and look at MINM. Happens every time. Maybe I should click the buy button and go take a break. That's what I should do. I always end up getting mine later in the day. I play the little swings after all this is over. I could do much better if I wouldn't take breaks at pre-market, though. They said the spring. That to me sounds like way out there, right? Like next March or April? Are we going to be going through this trouble that long? It's not fixed. I removed the clock thinking this clock widget may have had something to do with it. Because I didn't have trouble until after this, but evidently that wasn't it. It just happened to hit at the same time. I really wished I could put Linux on this system. I know so much about it. It's so much stable than this. Don't have to worry about all of this stuff. So I remember getting a time zone update for Windows a while back. I don't know if that's corrupting the system. That's the only update I recall getting, but I don't think it messed with the time. I think that's been over a week ago. But in ThinkorSwim, if I go in and change time settings, it's not changing the time. It's got to be a ThinkorSwim thing. Because my computer's right. It's ThinkorSwim that's wrong. I actually have it unchecked, and I've set the time manually. Might be why my orders didn't go through earlier. I do use a VPN. I've been on a VPN for many years. I don't want to get into sport with them right now at 8:22 with the market fixing to open in 8 minutes. They seem to tie it up and take their time, and I'm going to move the 50-minute scanner up here. I'm going to shrink this up a bit. I haven't had any trouble with ThinkorSwim as far as running multiple scans. I have a lot of resources over here. I have a nice setup. Very good processors, lots of memory. Andy, I can change any VPN state that I want to change to. Make sure you got your TIF set to day and off of extended. This is the new pullback scan. I'm going to give it a shot this morning. This is the 50-minute scan. This is the same as the all stock scan, but it's looking back 50 minutes with a couple of codes put in it. This is the high flyers. This is the real good scan that we always use. Good job, Martina. This one here is not a stock symbol. Don't try to buy it. It's a test symbol. I don't know why they'd want to stick it up here right when market's fixing to open. So at market open, I'm going to be concentrating on this scan. So if you don't want to concentrate on this scan, you're going to be on your own this morning. You should be perfectly capable of doing that. Of course, unless you're new here. I'm going to be watching. If I get this right today, I'm going to release it soon. I don't know, Don. You know, you have to test it against different markets. Today, this market is different than the day before's market. Tomorrow's market is Friday. It's going to be different than today's market. I have to find that balance between different market conditions. Got about a minute and a half to go here. Good luck to everyone. Make sure you have your TIF set today. Watch out chasing green candles. Some of you do, some of you don't. I don't. I'm still testing. If I can get this completed, I'm going to stick strictly to trading for the next few weeks. No coding. I might produce a training video occasionally, but I need to slow down a little bit. I need to make some money. I need to start trading. It's been 6 months. My profits should have been a lot higher, but I wanted to get this done and get back to focusing. So good luck to you. About 30 seconds to go. You're very welcome. And thank y'all for your patience. I know it's been a long road for you guys as well. Here we go. This looks pretty good for the next run up. I'm looking down here. It could change though. Never trust it. Get past this volatility at the beginning. AGRI right here. The whole point is this scan is saying it's going to go up. And let's see if it's right. Market volatility could take it right out. Let's check MIN, MINM. It's going up. It's number one up here. Of course, you probably knew it was going to go there. Probably going to go into a halt. That's what I suspect. Still at the top after the refresh. It did come up. These volatile market opens, though, they're really unpredictable. The SPY is falling. Just know that that's what's happening in the background. So the SPY could pull everything down. Still have AGRI over here. It's kind of holding its pattern just like MINM. Probably going to run from this point. That is a pullback. I didn't mark it out. I've been watching the other scans. So if it's going to go, this is the point it would go, is right here. The SPY's falling a little bit harder, so be careful. Needs to break that high right there. Right there. There was the pullback right here. But volatile market opens holding it back. SPY's pulling down even harder. So if I have a 2-minute delay, do not trade off my screen. Make sure you're watching your own computer system till I get this fixed. I don't know if it's YouTube delay. It probably is YouTube. Probably nothing to do on my end, but I don't want to refresh right now. So that one's not going anywhere. AGRI still floating around here in the pullback scan. But we don't have a bunch of trash stocks. That's what I was trying to eliminate. So that part's working. So if there's any other stocks running up and pulling back, they should appear here instead of being lost in a pile of stocks. Thank you, Blink. I will not, Robert. If red is above green, I will not chance it. But I have seen red above green, and both of these, the volume's increasing and the stock price going up. It all depends on the stock, I guess. I mean, if you look at it right now, this is not a direction, like I said. This doesn't mean the price is going up. This means the volume increased. This is volume. It has nothing to do with the angle of this price. So the buyers have increased, but the sellers are also increasing. So it's kind of just holding itself back here. SPY is still falling. AGRI still holding its level. Where's MINM? Right there. Up. Too fast for me. Where'd it go? It's quicker to type it in instead of try to chase it down. There we go. It's doing the same thing as AGRI, kind of consolidating to the right. EGLC down here on high flyers. Gotta put the link right, Mr. Gaspard. Let me make a little adjustment that I see on that scan. Actually, it should be right. I'm going to leave it for now. Looks like I did it right. It's actually acting like it's the watch list is not refreshing. That one's working. Why are we only showing one, but I'm showing 8? All right, let me try it on a different watch list. Well, I don't know. You know, you probably could come here and 2 minutes after market open, buy the top 5 and make a lot of money in this high flyer scan. So AGRI has been in this pullback scan the whole time, and it's finally moving. It did pull back slightly. It actually came to this scan right after that first red candle, and we got a green. Maybe it was this green candle it came in. So the prediction was right. Now, can it do another prediction correctly? So if you want to know what I've done here in this scan is I took this high flyers. I didn't actually take it. I knew how to build this script. This is the one I always tell you the moving averages are stacked. So the 5 is above the 13 is above the 21, the 21's above the 34, etc. So when moving averages are stacked and the price is above those moving averages, they usually spike. Just like you see this one doing. So I applied this same code to the pullback scan, and then I told it to look for the pullback of these red candles within this scan. And that's where this pullback is looking. Nothing to do with this scan. I just coded it like this scan. So we're looking for powerful stocks doing pullbacks and spiking. So number one looks good, AGRI. Good job, Dana. GMAC, I'll consider that after I take a lengthy break. I do want to do lessons. That's my next thing, is to do lessons on everything, break it down to the deepest that I can, and stick that video under each indicator. But I don't know if I want to go that deep into it. Some of those indicators are very old. We don't use them anymore. A lot of people just like to play with them. That's why they're there. But maybe I could do that on this current setup. What is each individual thing that I program doing? That would probably help. It may refresh my mind, because you program more than one and you move on and you forget what you did on the one before. And of course, I think I've explained every one of them in these live sessions. You could probably review the live sessions. If you don't want to wait, just watch every one of them starting at 6 o'clock, because that's when most of the activity started. And you'll hear me describe these indicators over and over and over, what they're doing. So I don't think my scans are refreshing. See you later, MY. God bless. I'm watching to see if any of these scans refresh. I haven't seen a refresh in a while. Still no refresh. Well, when it refreshes, you'll see a loading because we have these custom scripts. It'll say loading when it refreshes. Yeah, I've seen that one loading down here now. But that was a much longer than 5 minutes. Good job, KC. OT, you might not be having as many things running as I do. Yours may refresh much quicker. Lynn, we have lots of good scanners. That's the problem. I wish I could consolidate them all together. If I were going to stick with one, it would probably be this one or this one or this one. I don't know. It's a hard decision. Yeah, I think this scan is actually stuck. When I refresh it manually, I get 5 or 6 stocks. Only getting one. Right, I guess it looks like we'll have to sit here most of the day and work on getting this. I don't know if it's not refreshing or they're just not a stock. That's my next question. Is it doing what it's supposed to do, but there's nothing really worth getting into at the moment? This one must be in a halt. But I don't know why this one didn't disappear because it did pull back. It should not be in the list. I actually think this scan is not refreshing. This one's refreshing just fine. SMFL now pulling up. It's in a halt. It just went into a halt when I clicked on it. WM, I'm still using the original. I've never had issues either until recently, till this migration thing started. They actually destroyed this script right here, and I had to recode it. I don't know what they could have done in the migration to make it not work, but they did it. I think we had to do away with this one for a couple weeks until I landed back on it. It was working for some people, but not all people. Just like some people's refreshing and some people's not refreshing. Some people can trade short, some can't. The issues, they never cease to end. Then when I get it all right, now my time is messed up. OT I do sometimes, but not really. I'm more volume and price action. I mean, level 2 on ThinkorSwim is really not that accurate. It's not like you're getting the full value of all of the markets. You're only getting either NASDAQ or whatever you select. But other exchanges are buying that stock as well, so you're only getting part of the picture. I think the most important thing to watch is this price action. This tells you a lot. When you can back it up with this, it makes it a little easier. So volume and price action. There is not, Mark. But we're doing pretty good. I'm not even worried about the delay and refresh. What I'm worried about is just getting the stocks to play. I know we're not all going to get the same stock. That's probably never going to happen. We're never going to call the exact bottom or the exact top. But if we can continually strip some out of the middle on the ones that we do get, that's good enough. I mean, just learn how to play with what we're handed. It's not a total handicap. And I can kind of understand. Just think if you had 50 million people and you needed to refresh all of them at once, you couldn't do it. You're going to have to break them down in parts. I mean, you could if you invented the quantum computer, but everybody can't have the cake and eat it too, I guess. I've had NASDAQ Total View. That thing sucks. It's not accurate either. I think it was $9 or $29 a month or something. So which scan is better? What are your favorite scans? All of them is not an answer. I probably could. There may be a learning curve to it, but I'm pretty sure I can flip them over to a different platform. I think I'm going to have to say that it's really not a scan that I prefer. I know these are good and I know these are good. I think for me, it's this indicator right here where we first started. I think it, like we put it on the all stock scan, no filters, no nothing. You could literally just watch this one indicator and make money. Or I know I could. So is it really a scan, or are these indicators stripping them out of the market? I think this is the one that's responsible for everything right here. Curtis, my strategy is never to be greedy. Once I'm in, let's say I'm in here, I would be really cautious in this area. And then when I see it going up, if I caught that red candle, I'd probably get out. I'm not looking to make thousands. I don't put a limit on anything. If I get in something and it gets a short rally, I always get in with enough shares to make enough profit. So I'm not looking to nail it when it gets to the moon. If I can grab some and make continual profits, that makes me happy. I don't care if it's $50, $1,000. I'm not shooting for a number. I'm shooting for profit. I immediately get out if it goes against me because I'm not under the PDT rule. I'm not worried about, oh, I can't trade another trade. I just get out. And even if you're on the PDT rule, you should just get out. If you're wrong, get out. Don't wait for $100 or $200 loss. You'll never get out of that PDT rule if you keep hanging on for losses. I mean, I took a loss 2 days ago for $36. I got out. That's how quick I got out. I just got out. This morning, I took a loss for $100. I don't win all the time. Will I make up the $130? Yes, I will. Maybe later today. But I'm not having to make up $600 or $800 loss. So Malik, when you say the all stocks work flawlessly, which indicator were you applying to the all stocks? Are you just relying on Momo to list them with the highest number? Are you relying on the volume spike to lead you in the right direction? The reason I give this one all the credit is because all the rest of the indicators were born from it. That's what I say, Bulldog. I say this one is the dominant. This is the heartbeat of everything in there. So got to figure out this issue. So I still have a bug. It's not refreshing. I don't know why. The code has nothing to do with the refresh. It could just be ThinkorSwim and this particular watch list. I may have to delete it, create another watch list. But what's really getting me is if I use this watch list over here, I still don't get it. I still only get the one. So what's up with that? You got to figure that out. Ron, this does become addicting. It's just not me. It's just that when you're on to something, that's the addiction. Like, man, it's working right. He's telling me right here, it's working. I've never seen this before. I haven't seen it either. I'm talking to myself here. This was cracking the code right here. Hollywood, I've been testing it throughout the day, but I made code changes to it yesterday. But now it's not refreshing, and there's nothing in the code that does refreshing. So I've got to see if it's ThinkorSwim. Do I need a reboot? I don't know. I mean, get rid of the bugs, man. Leave me alone so I can concentrate. These bugs are killing me. This migration's killing me. People not being able to load an open shared item. Hundreds of support questions over that. I don't need the extra workload from Schwab. Me too, Malik. I think I could delete everything else and just trade off of what I see on the candles and those two indicators. But I do have to say the dominator is a plus. That may have to be included. I did manually refresh. When I manually refresh, I get 5 or 6 stocks. And then I save it after the refresh, and it doesn't transfer to here to the watch list. There's a link missing somewhere between the scan and the watch list. So I know the market's flat right now. The SPY's dragging everything down. We don't have a lot of volume. So after this live stream in 15 minutes, I'll probably start debugging to see what's going on. I probably got to get on the phone with Schwab, see why my time is different. What's going on with that? Like what I did, and I think everybody should really do this, is when you click the Market Watch tab and you click quotes on the left, I think everyone should fix that one watch list up. And if you're using multiple monitors, once you get it set up and saved, if you need more watch lists, just detach that one and load a different scan. That's what you see up here. If you notice this little tab at the bottom, these are all detached Market Watch list. Every one of these. If they had this little tab, I'd drug them off of the Market Watch. So you're only creating one watch list with the indicators you need, and not having to add all these indicators to individual watch lists. Just build one and detach it. Drag it around, resize it, put 4 of them to a monitor if that's what you want to do. But simplify it so you're not tracking everything down. Good job, Curtis. You caught this run right here, I suppose. You're welcome, James. Can you not hear me? Can anybody hear me? So only some of you can't hear me. See, that's how buggy we are. There's people can't hear me. Some people can hear me. I'm crashing. I'm not loading. My clock's wrong. I mean, you can't deny this scanner either. I mean, this is spot on. What more could you ask for something to look back 50 minutes for you, for anything that's moving, and then bring them to the top when they do move? Kind of crazy. Or the pre-market scan where you don't search for nothing. They all come to you. Well, we're definitely in the dead spot. You are welcome. Go for it. Thank you, Trading Pennies. Well, some of them couldn't hear me. Some of them could hear me. My wife don't want to hear me. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. And I know there's a lot of you out there where your spouse is in the background saying, would you turn that down? And just know we love you too, spouse. We're doing this for a reason. I mean, my wife just told me yesterday, you know, you're loud. And then she looks at me, she goes, really loud. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We have a lot of California people here. I was pulled over at the local barbecue place getting me and the wife a sandwich for lunch one day, and this guy walks up and he's staring at my truck. And I said, what are you looking at? Man, you people here in Texas, you got some of the biggest and baddest trucks. I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, everywhere I look, everybody's got a beautiful, y'all are truck people. Everybody's got a beautiful truck. And the only thing that I've done to my truck was put bigger tires on it. That's it. It's a normal truck. So I said, you know, this is just a regular truck, right? No, that's not a regular truck. Well, what kind of trucks do y'all have? I mean, I knew they had to be the same everywhere. I do have two nice trucks. Since that day, though, I did jack them up 6 inches, put big tires on both of them. I have two 2017 GMC Sierras. We do go four-wheeling along with my motorcycle riding. I love being outside. I can't stand to sit in the house in the chair and stare at news. That's not me. I want to go play in the water, play in the mud, climb the hills, ride the motorcycle long distances, go to places I've never been. There's lots to do and see. You don't need to sit there and watch the tube. Get out and explore what God gave you. Go have fun with it. He put it there for a reason. Three years ago, we left my city on a motorcycle. Of course, it's a nice motorcycle. It's a Goldwing three-wheeler with a trailer, everything matching, real nice. We set out for a weekend trip and ended up driving 3,500 miles in 2 weeks, made it through every major city in Colorado from Texas. The most beautiful trip I ever took in my life. Didn't have a roof over my head. You can smell the smells, hear the water running, see how high the mountains were. No restrictions on a motorcycle. You get the whole full effect. Most wonderful thing I ever did in my life. Took my time. We got tired of riding. We'd go get a hotel somewhere. Funny part about it is I was in a resort in Breckenridge. And it was kind of warm that day. And I went to the clerk desk and said, "Hey, we're fixing to go to sleep. How do I turn on the air conditioner?" And they literally thought I was nuts asking for an air conditioner. Well, when you're from Texas, you turn on the air conditioner when you go to bed. We don't even have air conditioners up here, son. I said, "Oh, how embarrassing." You're welcome, Gordon. So I'm fixing to peel out of here. If you have not subscribed to YouTube, please do help me make a little bit of money. I gave you the numbers. They're not very high. Subscribe to the YouTube. Like the videos, comment on the videos. Let YouTube know what kind of a job I'm doing here. It also lets me know what kind of a job I'm doing here. Here's the link to YouTube if you have not subscribed. Or maybe you just got the Discord link from somebody else and you haven't been over to YouTube. That's where the videos are. So give me a like and a subscribe over there. Join our Discord channel for what I explained earlier. Meet the other investors, get all the scripts, instructions, how-to videos, you name it. Thanks again for all the donations that were given this morning and the new Patreon subscribers. I really appreciate all you guys and love you to death. Well, not to death, but I love you. I'll see you again tomorrow morning, this same time. Join us if you want to make some money, have a little bit of fun. As always, God bless. Bye-bye.